Welcome to this mindfulness practice, Sounds and Thoughts. I invite you first of all to find a comfortable position, either sitting on the chair or perhaps lying down on the bed. Bringing your attention first of all to your breathing. Noticing the gentle rise and fall of your chest and your belly as you breathe. And either closing your eyes, or if that doesn't feel comfortable, simply softening your gaze to a fixed spot out in front of you. Imagine yourself as if you were a microphone, listening to the various sounds in the environment around you. Starting with your breathing, noticing the sound of the air as it passes in and out through either your nose or your mouth. And as you listen to each sound, try to do so without labeling the sound. You might perhaps notice the sound of a car or a bird. Rather than saying, "I notice a car," see if it's possible to notice only the true, raw quality of each sound. Notice the rhythm of the sound, the volume of the sound. Notice the pitch, the timbre. There's no need to go searching for sounds. Simply remain open and receptive to sounds as they arise in the space around you. Notice perhaps how they linger for a while, and then the point at which they eventually dissolve and disappear. Notice the difference between sounds. Perhaps how the louder sounds crowd out the smaller sounds. Notice moments of relative quiet. Try not to judge the sound. You might notice that certain sounds are unpleasant. You might notice yourself having a thought such as, "I find this sound annoying or irritating." If you notice this, see if it's possible to allow it to simply be. To notice yourself having that thought, and then return back to noticing only the quality of the sound, the pitch, the volume, rather than its implication or its meaning. And you'll notice at times that your attention is distracted, drawn into your thoughts, into your memories, into sensations such as pain perhaps in the body. And this is completely normal. When you notice your attention wandering, without judgment and with compassion, see if it's possible to return back to this exercise of simply noticing sounds as they arise, and with a curious mind, noticing the true raw quality of each sound. When you're ready, letting go now of the intention to notice sounds around you, and instead having your thoughts as center stage in awareness. as with the sounds, approaching your thoughts with a sense of curiosity, without judgment. And like you were a microphone for sounds in the environment, imagine yourself now being a microphone, open and receptive to thoughts as they arise, linger in the space of the mind, and eventually notice as these thoughts dissolve and disappear. You might imagine your thoughts being like clouds in a vast and spacious sky. Notice as these clouds float and drift across the sky and eventually disappear out of view. Like with the sky, we have little control over the weather and we have little control over our thoughts. Instead, focus during this practice on simply noticing these thoughts. Like clouds, sometimes they're light and fluffy, sometimes dark and stormy. Sometimes these clouds fill the entire sky. Sometimes they clear out, leaving the sky empty and cloudless. If you notice yourself judging the thought as being unpleasant or having a particular emotional charge, simply say, I notice I'm having this thought, that, or I notice I feel this way in response to this thought. And see if it's able to allow this thought to simply be, like a cloud to float across the sky and eventually disappear. If at any point you find this exercise overwhelming or distressing, perhaps return back to the breath like an anchor, or open your eyes. When you're ready, allowing the visualization of the sky and the clouds to disappear. Keeping the breath center stage in awareness now. Perhaps wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Stretch your arms above you and your legs out in front. Taking a deep breath in and a big yawn as if waking up for the first time this morning. Bringing your awareness to the room that you're in. And when you're ready, slowly blinking open your eyes, ready to close this practice. Thank you for joining me in this guided mindfulness practice, sounds and thoughts.